Now, what a season it has been. It has been an absolutely bumpy ride for a lot of teams, wherein there has been a lot of destruction because of COVID, because of different situations, and we had an absolutely cramped season. But now it just boils down to a couple of things which are there to play for. So before I talk about what is there in this game week and all, we would like to congratulate Manchester City for winning the Premier League once again, and it has been a remarkable performance by the team under this stress of anxiety, and they have been phenomenal. Commiserations to a couple of teams, Sheffield United, Fulham, and West Ham, who have been unfortunately relegated. But the fight is on for the Champions League spots, and that is where the discussion we would be having today. So before I move forward and before I talk about those teams, I would like to introduce Rajat also, who would be with me talking about how it is going to be on the final day, which teams would be getting nervous, how nerve-wracking it would be for the supporters, for the fans, and what we can expect of the season which has been there. So let's talk about the table right now and the top 5 team, how it looks like. So Rajat, what is your feel by taking a look at the table right now?
Harsh rightly said, congratulations to Manchester City and also to Manchester United for coming in second place after their third place finish last year. Coming to the 3 teams which are vying for the Champions League spots, this could have been not been have any better than the situation we are in right now. All 3 teams can qualify given different circumstances and how they perform today. So all in all, looks like a very exciting day, and you always tend to have a very exciting final day on the Premier League. And what better than 3 teams simultaneously trying to get into the top 4 spaces today? So looking at your personal interest in this, Liverpool is right now at the 4th position, and having been doing really well in the last 1 week, they have accumulated the maximum number of points in the last few games. So what are your thoughts on who you think is going to qualify from the 3 teams which are vying for the 2 spots?
As you rightly said, that Liverpool has been, it's tough being a Liverpool supporter at this point of time, because when we defeated Crystal Palace 7-0 in December, and when we thought that we would be just running away with the trophy again, we had an absolutely terrible crash of 9 defeats and 3 draws in the next 14 games, and that is where we just lost everything, right? And I think just maybe 15-20 days back, it looked even virtually impossible for Liverpool to qualify for the top 4. But somehow they have gathered themselves at the right time. Somehow the team has started to click. We have seen Jurgen Klopp, pushing each other, and who can forget that Alisson goal in the last minute against West Brom, right? So when you see such kind of things, you feel that the gods are on your side, maybe, and probably this is a script which is written to ensure that Liverpool qualifies for the Champions League. But as a Liverpool fan, there is definitely an excitement, happiness that right now where we are in this situation. But there is a kind of a fear also, that we have come so far and we should not just lose it in the last moment. That's a kind of an anxiety which probably all the Liverpool fans are going through at this moment. So Rajat, let's talk about these 3 teams. Let's talk about Chelsea, Liverpool, and Leicester, and where they are, and how the different scenarios and combinations can work. What is your sense? What do you get sense of Chelsea's mood and what Chelsea would do today? And what is your take on Chelsea versus Aston Villa? Or maybe what will Chelsea be able to achieve today?
Going back to the time when Frank Lampard was sacked, although I feel it was a bit harsh on him because it was his first season, but then Chelsea is Chelsea, and they do tend to operate in a standard pattern, and they do tend to look at results very fast from their managers. Comparing to that time, Chelsea till a few days back were in a very good position. They were in the FA Cup finals. They are already in the Champions League final, and they were looking very good to cement a spot in the top 4. So what has happened of late is that Chelsea have lost the FA Cup final to Leicester, so that's gone. And then a surprise loss to Arsenal, who have been a mid-table team this year, and Chelsea were looking really good before that. And I'd like to mention the impact that Thomas Tuchel has had on this team. So they've been a team which has been defensively really, really strong, not been conceding a lot of goals and winning by slim margins whenever they've not been conceding goals. But the problem has arisen when Chelsea has gone behind, and then Chelsea has to come back and somehow try to rescue that game. That's not happened. Although they did come back against Leicester in the league match, and they won against Leicester, which has given them a hope of qualifying this today. All in all, I feel that Chelsea will still believe that they can come into the top four, having defeated another top four team like Leicester last week, and Aston Villa, as you mentioned, Aston Villa at home, and that too with Jack Grealish, will present them with a very good challenge. Although my gut feel sees Chelsea, prevailing through this match and coming out winners in a tightly contested match today.
Right. And for Leicester now, this is kind of a deja vu for them, right? What they went through last season also, wherein they looked. I mean, last season I also believe that they had that second spot with them for a long time, and even this season as well. Leicester has again, even though they had that phenomenal, performance in FA Cup. I mean, I won't say performance, but a result for them, wherein it was a wonder strike by Leicester, right? But what do you think? Has Leicester gone off the boil? Were there, the fixtures pretty difficult as compared to Liverpool or Chelsea, or is it that Leicester still is a work in progress as a team?
If you look at Leicester and compare them to last year's performance, last year was a definite slide in the last, 9 to 10 matches after the restart happened. But this year it's been a roller coaster ride. They've been, consistently in the top four. They've been, doing really well, then performing not so well, and then coming back again, defeating Manchester United before they lost to Chelsea. And, they have been a real contender for the top four spots. What I think is that the euphoria and the happiness of winning the FA Cup and then coming back from it next week against a team like Chelsea would have been really, really difficult for them, because if you look at Leicester and look at their history, the only shining light in the last 20 years has been their triumph in the Premier League, in which they won. And the second most important thing which has happened for them is the FA Cup victory. So that would have taken a lot of time to sink in and come back again, focus against a team like Chelsea, which is why I thought Leicester looked a little bit off the boil against Chelsea in that match. But looking at what the kind of work Brendan Rodgers has done for Leicester, they have been a team which was about to get relegated before they won the Premier League, and then they won the Premier League under the managership of Ranieri, Claudio Ranieri.
Right.
Rodgers has taken them from that level to a consistent top six team. Now you cannot say that Leicester is a team which is outside of the top six and not part of the big six. So that has been a significant improvement. I just really feel that for this improvement to continue, Leicester should go all out and try and win this match. It would be again a very, very big achievement for a club like Leicester to be playing the Champions League next year. So that would serve as a motivation in itself. And I see Leicester going out and all out against Tottenham today and trying to win this with a big margin.
Okay, so I think it's a very simple situation for every club, right? It's just win your game and forget about the other thing. I mean, I can say it for Chelsea and Liverpool, but unfortunately Leicester, if we see the goal difference, so Liverpool is +4 right now with Leicester. And that is one thing which I think would be a major reason why Leicester may miss out in case Chelsea also win their match. But if any team out of these teams, even they draw the game or they lose it and the other two teams win, then they are out of the championship.
Yes.
So it is a situation which is not very straightforward for any team, even though it just feels like, go there and win the game. But those situations wherein you go through those transitions, like the fans would be there. Now, one thing which I strongly believe, when the fans are there, even though they are pushing you and it would be great for them to welcome the fans after such a long break when they were not allowed inside, when they would actually get to know that the other team is trailing or leading, the atmosphere changes. The fans would ensure that the players also come to know. So we can feel that tension, or we can feel that delight whenever anything happens outside the ground, right? What is happening in the next matches? Even though players would like to be focused and try to perform in the match which they are playing, but there would be one, I would say, in one ear or probably one eye or some part of your mind which actually would also be reading those kind of things and emotions, whatever is happening in the ground. So I think the fundamentally all these three teams, I think it would be important for them to score early so that the nerves can be settled of all the fans. So let's talk about the scenarios, Rajat. If we talk about what can happen and all. So what so what is your take in case this thing happens? Obviously, Leicester would win, but again, it's a game of fine margin. So Liverpool and Leicester can actually get to 69, and still Leicester can actually not qualify because if Chelsea wins again. So do you think the scenario one happening?
Harsh, I strongly feel that all three teams will, try and just cement their place in the top four first and then look at any kind of goal differences. Leicester will first of all try and win and hope for the other teams to lose because, going all out against a team like Tottenham can also hurt them at the back. So they wouldn't want to go behind to a team like Tottenham. They would want actually to go first and win this match, secure, a position in which they are likely to win this match and then go all out and see if they can improve the goal difference, which is very difficult to happen, against a team like Tottenham, who also, trying to get a Europa League place here. So some things at stake for Tottenham as well. So it wouldn't be that easy for Leicester. Looking at Chelsea, again, as we already discussed, they have a match against Aston Villa. And although Villa would welcome, Jack Grealish back, he played in the last match as well, and Villa are altogether different beast if they have Jack Grealish in their ranks. So Chelsea would also be very careful to not, as you mentioned, that not to concede early and get behind on the match and face pressure from the crowd which will be there, because Aston Villa will also be playing at home and they will also have additional crowd support as well. So all in all, I feel that the first goal today will be very critical in all the three matches. The team scoring first will most likely go on to retain their lead and win the match. And as soon as the nerves start to settle down, we'll see that Chelsea and Liverpool, having far less to do than Leicester, will be more relaxed than Leicester in today's match. So I personally feel scenario one can happen, in which Chelsea and Liverpool can qualify, but Leicester, I can't see them keeping a clean sheet against a team like Tottenham.
Okay. So if you talk about scenario two, Rajat, and now again, we are talking about some random permutation combinations, what can happen. Now, in this case, that's my team, Liverpool. If we say that Liverpool lose 2-0, or maybe even if they draw in this game and Leicester and Chelsea win, the goal difference would obviously be out of the picture because of this, because Liverpool then would have 66 points and Leicester 69 and Chelsea 70. We should not forget it that before that, Liverpool had that amazing run of 70 odd matches without even losing at Anfield. It was only Crystal Palace which defeated them. Even though they lost 6 games in a row this season, which has happened for the first time in their history. But it was Crystal Palace, almost a similar set of players which were there. And we cannot just write them off, even though Liverpool now has a very good record against Leicester in the last 7 games. But it was Crystal Palace who actually disrupted Liverpool's home record. And before they went on to that amazing run of 70 odd matches without losing at Anfield. So even though I don't think this is going to happen, but since it is going to be Roy Hodgson's last match, and Crystal Palace would like to give them a present, and again Roy Hodgson finishing his his journey, his professional journey at the place which he had also managed in the past as well. So I don't think this can happen, but if it does, again, it again depends upon if they concede the first goal. We'll talk about obviously what going to happen in the match in the preceding video when we are discussing it further. But this scenario, I feel it's a little optimistic as a Chelsea or a Leicester fan. But I don't think this is going to happen. But you just never know. It's football. Anything can happen. So what do you think of scenario 3? As in, I think the main theme of the discussion in most of the shows which I have seen, or anybody who's discussing about the final day, is actually between Liverpool and Leicester that which team is going to qualify. So they feel that because Chelsea is very strong at the back and they may not, they may not lose at all against Aston Villa. Do you think this happening? Chelsea drawing their game and Liverpool and Leicester eventually qualifying?
I think it's a possibility, to be very frank. As we've been discussing, Aston Villa at home with Jack Grealish, because if you look at their performances without Grealish and with Grealish, they've been, two teams very different from each other. And so Grealish is a kind of player who, inspires the entire team to, perform really well. And the team also believes in themselves when they have such a player around them. So, and Chelsea, you should also, consider the fact that having lost the FA Cup final, they have lost a chance to, have a trophy in their cabinet this year. So they will be under tremendous amount of pressure to continue and go ahead and win this match and cement their place in the top four, because in the Champions League final, they're going to face Manchester City, and defeating Manchester City to gain a title and also to gain a Champions League place. That would be some pressure which Thomas Tuchel and team would not want to have. So they might be under a lot of nerves today, and especially if it's an away match with a lot of fans coming in from Aston Villa's side, I think this 1-1 scoreline, or maybe a high scoring draw like a 2-2 or maybe a 1-1 you mentioned is quite a high probability in my opinion, because what we've seen is that Chelsea have been vulnerable when they have been put under pressure, because they found themselves under a lot of pressure in the FA Cup final, and they found themselves under pressure when they faced Arsenal, and that pressure was something which they had put on themselves. So if they play under a lot of nerves, I think this scenario is possible to a high extent, and we might see Liverpool and Leicester qualifying. Although in my back of the mind, I still feel that Leicester versus Tottenham is an equally difficult match for Leicester to win.
Okay. I hope it doesn't turn out to be the fact that our main team Liverpool, I mean my team Liverpool, which is not that much under pressure because of the past histories or because of the complications of the draw, still they can still be put under pressure if Crystal Palace scores early. I just hope that it doesn't come down to that, because then it would be a great blow, a huge blow for Liverpool also to come back and to do it. They have done it in the past. But to do it again in the match which matters most probably in this season, it is going to be a really, really tough call again. So let's look at Rajat, the individual matches we have. Let's talk about Aston Villa and Chelsea match. So as you rightly said, there would be a crowd support for Villa, right? And it is going to be an away match for Chelsea. What I also feel here is that because there are no away crowds allowed right now because of the pandemic situations, and you would not have anybody from the Blue Army supporting Chelsea. What I feel is, and I don't have numbers with me, but Aston Villa has won a lot of matches when Jack Grealish has started, and they have actually been a kind of a team which is a top 6, top 7 team with Jack Grealish in the team, and vis-a-vis when it is not there. So do you think the combination of El Ghazi, Ollie Watkins, Grealish, Traore, McGinn, can they make a difference against this Chelsea side who might be without Conte in this match, because he was also taken away and they have to keep at least one eye on the next weekend Champions League final against City?
So Ash, a draw does not suit Chelsea today. So that's something, which Aston Villa will keep in mind, and they will know that if they can frustrate Chelsea for a wee bit of time, they start to find spaces in Chelsea's midfield and even in defense, because Chelsea will need to come out and attack and score that very important goal which they need to win. Because as we mentioned, if they even draw this match, it's likely that they might get, knocked out of the Champions League places. So Chelsea need to win. That will play on their minds. Aston Villa have players to exploit those spaces. We have already been mentioning about Jack Grealish. We've given so much of importance to Jack Grealish, but we should not forget Ollie Watkins, Anwar El Ghazi, Bertrand Traore, who's been a good striker whenever he's been given the opportunity. Apart from that, if you look at Aston Villa in knockout matches, if it's a knockout match in case of Chelsea, Aston Villa do tend to perform. It's been their history that they do tend to perform very well in knockout matches. This will be a kind of knockout match this will have the pressure of a knockout match. And that's where, Aston Villa have nothing to lose today. So, that in that case, I think they will enjoy this outing much, much more than a very nervous Chelsea team. And that's where I can think if a team is enjoying the contest more, they're likely to do much better than the other team. So, fingers crossed, I think this might turn out to be a draw. And looking at Chelsea, if they do not score first, they might even, go on to lose this match.
That would be an absolutely, I mean, the permutation combination have to rework once again, right? And that is going to be phenomenal. I would say not phenomenal for Chelsea fans, but for Liverpool and Leicester, it would be a great news if it happens. So let's look at the next match, Rajat, and we talk about Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. Now, as I've said, that Crystal Palace has, disturbed Liverpool in the past, wherein they have been able to defeat them, right? The best part of Liverpool is in the last 10 games, they are the best team in the Premier League. The number of points they have scored and the number of victories they have got. But one thing we need to also remember is that Liverpool has done really well away from home rather than at home, right? It's the same for Manchester United this season. I mean, both the teams have emulated the same thing, right? Now, last game, Liverpool had 7-0 victory. As I've said, that after that, everything went to turmoil for Liverpool. But Benteke, we should not forget that he is in top form right now. He scored in the last 4 games. Now, he would be against Rai Williams and Nat Phillips. Now, who are kind of a players. I mean, Kidderminster Harriers was a team wherein Rai Williams was playing. And Nat Phillips was also playing in Stuttgart, which is second division team in Germany right now. So, I think, according to me, the danger would be Benteke. Again, point to prove against the previous club. Heading capabilities. And what Burnley also did in the last game, even though Liverpool, won that game comfortably, but it was not a very comfortable game. I think the main problem which Liverpool will face would be the long balls, which Crystal Palace would be playing, and Townsend in the middle, McCarthy there. Then you have Schlupp, and also these are also strong. Let's not forget even Wilfried Zaha, an ex-Manchester United player. I mean, as a Liverpool fan, it's a kind of it's not very comfortable looking at those people. So what is one thing which is there in your mind when you see the names of Townsend, Benteke, Zaha, Schlupp, and McCarthy?
As you rightly mentioned in the last match against Burnley as well, Burnley were using a lot of over-the-top long balls to hurt Liverpool because Liverpool were pressing really high, and they had a very high backline in that match because Liverpool were looking for goals. Similar will be the case for this match as well, although I feel that Crystal Palace will have a lot of quality which will be better than what Burnley had to offer. And as you mentioned, Benteke and Townsend, Zaha, so all these players can hurt Liverpool if they press really high and they get the space behind the defense. And Benteke is a very clinical finisher as well. He used to be very missing a lot of chances early on in his career, but since he's been back at Crystal Palace, he's been making the most of the limited opportunities he's been getting. So yeah, that can happen. Burnley did miss a lot of chances when they were missing against Liverpool, but they can't expect the same from Crystal Palace. So that's where I think Palace can go and hurt Liverpool. But if you look at my prediction or my gut feeling for this match, I think Liverpool will be comfortable winners in this match. You've seen the hunger, you've seen the zeal, you've seen the excitement, you've seen the want of getting to those Champions League places in every single match during the last 4 matches which they have played, starting with Manchester United, then against Burnley. So, and also in the match in which Alisson scored the last goal in the last minute. So you've seen Liverpool wanting to be in that space, and we do not see Liverpool throwing this away after reaching this far. I think it's going to be a comfortable victory for Liverpool today.
And in fact, I think there are very few stadiums which actually can make a difference to any team. There are a lot of stadiums. I mean, United, Old Trafford, and Anfield are the 2 stadiums which come into my mind, which actually can make a lot of difference when you have those kind of a push from the crowd and all. And I think this is where I think this would also help Liverpool. But again, it purely depends upon how soon they can get the first goal. What happens if other teams get first goal and all. So it is going to be an absolutely fascinating, spectacle to see how these teams would be there. So let's talk about the third match, which we are talking about Leicester, Liverpool, and Chelsea. But there are still a lot of things to play for Tottenham as well, right? Let's see. I mean, they can still qualify for the Europa. Tottenham, if they can win this game. Leicester, obviously, as I've said, will have a good chance. Obviously, if they do really well. But I think the major talking point would be that how would Harry Kane cope up, which looks in all probability would be his last game before he leaves, because we saw those visuals of he being emotional, going along alone for a walk and, or thanking all the supporters of Tottenham. And they were urging from the crowd to just make him stay. But we could see those emotions in his mind and all. So how difficult and how tricky it is for this game to be called, Rajat. What is your take on that?
So, this is one game that both teams have something at stake for. For Leicester City, it's a place in the Champions League places, and for Tottenham Hotspur, it's a chance to come in the Europa League places. So both teams are actually playing for something. Both teams are more or less equally matched, and both teams are actually part of the extended top six, if you can call it. So Leicester have made their place in that top big six league in the last few years. So actually they have been the ones who've been looking to displace the kinds of the Arsenals and the Tottenhams of the world from the top six. So I think that this is going to be a match of identities. A team which is trying to build its identity in the top six, and another team which is trying to save its identity in the top six and to remain in the top six and to remain in the best teams of the Premier League. So, as you've already mentioned, a very, very big event likely to happen today. Harry Kane to play his last match for Tottenham Hotspur after being with the club for the last 15 years. So that's going to be a very emotional moment. I see this match being really close. Actually, two things are needed for Leicester, to qualify from this match. A is going ahead and winning this match, and second is going ahead and winning this match by a huge goal difference. So I see, you know, maybe a 50% probability of the first thing happening, but a very, very low probability of the second thing happening, that Tottenham Hotspur get beat by a lot of number of goals, especially when it's Harry Kane's last match and Tottenham also looking for a place in the Europa League places. So in this case, I think this is going to be the most closely contested match today. Could happen to be a draw, or maybe even Leicester City sneaking out a victory with a small margin.
And I think all the teams and all the matches, I think there would be an re-evaluation at the halftime where teams are. If let's say Leicester go ahead, then they are winning 1-0. But if Liverpool is also winning, then Leicester may try to actually stretch it further. But if Liverpool is drawing, or maybe if Liverpool is one down, or maybe even if Chelsea is not winning, then probably Leicester can look to hold on to that victory also, right? Because for most of the teams, the combination has to work, and especially for Leicester, they need a lot of odds to come together. So, I mean, it would be an absolutely exciting watch, Rajat. I believe that the eyes would be glued to not only one match, but for a couple of matches, and it is going to be a phenomenal spectacle which we are going to witness tonight. So let's see. Let's hope that we all have a great, fulfilling day when those matches are ended. And I guess the clubs which we support, I mean, you support United, obviously United is there. But let's hope that Liverpool can get into also. But it would be fascinating to see how it happens.
Thanks everyone for joining in, and we'll be looking forward to bring you many more podcasts like this. Whatever you felt about this podcast Bazaar, do let us know in the comment section. We look forward to your continued support, and do like our videos, subscribe to our channel. We also run a Telegram channel in which we share a lot of Dream 11 teams for all the football matches happening around the world. So all the best to your teams which are in action tonight, and we hope you stay safe and enjoy the Premier League finale tonight. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.